The Science Behind Sound and Music. Class number 2, Frequency Composition. What comes to mind when we hear or read the word wave is usually a pure wave. The good thing about pure waves is that they are easy to describe. A pure sine wave has a single amplitude and a single frequency. 5 periods in 0.5 seconds, that is 10 Hertz. However, purity is scarce in nature. Just two pure sounds may combine to something difficult to describe. They add up to
8,000 what? Those are milliseconds, you ignorant.
Sebastian, that's a swing and a miss. Those are microseconds. In other words, millionth of a second, usually abbreviated as the letter mu preceding the S. Let's chart some more time. What's the frequency of this wave? What's the amplitude? Anyone? Sebastian? Since no pattern repeats, there's no way to tell. All that can be said is that the wave has two pure components, one of 494 Hz with an amplitude of 1 Pascal, and a second one of 698 Hz with 0.7 Pascal. That's it. We could keep adding sounds. The time chart complicates to the point of becoming totally useless. What about a chart like this? Everything you need to know is here. The frequency, the amplitude of each component, all of it. This is called the spectrum of that sound. Let us look at this chart by showing the full range of the human hearing. This chart gives the wrong impression of those components having about the same pitch. The pitch sensation has a logarithm relation with the frequency. Every doubling of the frequency produces the same pitch increment. This is called a semi-logarithm chart, or semi-log for short. In this kind of chart, the x-coordinate goes not with the frequency, but with its power of 2. Frequency doubling will show the same x increment.
Actually, not just doubling. The same ratios would always have the same x increments, right?
Are you after my job, Sebastian? What's nice about this chart is that the components show in the way we felt their pitches. However, sound intensity is acoustic power, not just pressure, and power goes with the square of it. There. Also noticeable is that the faintest component and the loudest doesn't feel as different as they show in the chart.
Elementary, that's because the loudness is logarithmic with the sound intensity.
Hate it when he steals my rhymes. This one is called a logarithmic chart, or log for short. The power axis is made logarithmic as well, and now it seems to go with our loudness sensation.
Where is the zero?
Where's the zero, Sebastian? Gotcha. There can be no zero in the log axis. The smallest number there may be, for instance, 10 times 12 watt per square meter, which is the intensity of the faintest hearable sound. For the top of the chart, the rock console loud. 1 watt per square meter could be a good choice.
Why don't we use decibels? Wasn't it the unit of choice for sound intensity?
Yes, Sebastian, decibels are the perfect unit for sound intensity.
true that I could find no period or amplitude in that wave you built from pure sine waves. However, in class number 1, you showed waves that were not even nearly pure and still periodic.
My God, he's a video recorder. You mean like this one? Which has a period, so it must have a frequency. Also, since the pattern repeats, its maximum is the amplitude. This one is the sum of 5 pure sounds. Can you find a pattern here?
The frequency goes in increments of 500 hertz.
That's certainly true for this one. Let's try another periodic wave. This one has the same period and it's also the sum of 5 pure sounds. What's the pattern now?
All the frequencies are multiple of 500. Can't be. That's too easy.
That is correct. He just outsmarted you. Notice that in both cases, all frequencies are integer multiples of 500 Hz. They are also multiple of, say, 100, but 500 is the maximum common factor.
Exactly. It feels the same pitch and loudness. Still, they sound different, don't they? When you feel different, it's called the timbre.
Changing all the frequencies but keeping their ratios keeps the timbre. In a logarithmic scale, this looks like moving the spectrum horizontally. That's why a singer or a musical instrument will sound like itself in any part of the song. Timbre is also in change with loudness if amplitude ratios are kept. In a logarithmic scale, it looks like moving the spectrum vertically. That's why a singer or any musical instrument will sound like itself even when the volume changes. Summarizing, the timbre depends on the spectrum of the sound wave, the loudness on the total acoustic power, and the pitch depends on the repetition frequency of the sound wave,
which is the lowest frequency in the spectrum. There may not even be a real component with that frequency. All that is needed is that every other frequency be a multiple of it.
He's giving me a run for my money. So these last two waves were periodic, and the one from our first example was non-periodic. There's an essential difference here. A sequence of periodic sounds can make a tune. Sequences of non-periodic sounds cannot make tunes. That's the reason why frequency components of periodic waves are called harmonics. Because without periodic sounds, there's no music. The harmonic with the lowest frequency, that which the rest are integer multiples of, is called the fundamental and is responsible for the pitch of the sound. Even if missing, it will still be the fundamental of that sound.
But wait, these periodic waves have been built out of a few pure waves. What about something like a square wave?
You mean something like this?
Exactly.
Back in the 18th century, a French mathematician named Fourier proved that not only a square wave, but any periodic function, no matter how weird, could be built with a sum of sinusoids. There's still something unreal about the spectrum charts we have been shown. There's no such thing in nature as a pure sound wave. Neither frequency nor amplitude are ever perfectly constant, so all acoustic power cannot be infinitely concentrated on a single frequency but spread around it. Once the power is spread, the ordinate cannot be just acoustic power, but its frequency density, that is, watts per meter per hertz. This is the idealized spectrum of a flute, and here's the real spectrum of a flute.
Why not dB per hertz? I was about to ask the same question.
That's the beauty of the decibel. It is a comparative unit, 10 times the logarithm of a ratio. It can be the ratio of two acoustic powers or that of two acoustic power densities, being the denominator in that ratio any arbitrary reference. For instance, the hearing threshold or the maximum power of a flute or whatever you can come up with.
Why don't the bass go all the way down? I was about to ask the same question.
His nerdiness is late to the intelligent question again.
Beats can only go as low as the noise level. In a flute, that noise is the hiss sound from blowing into a hole. Here's an exaggeration to ease the understanding. However, for one reason or another, there will always be noise in the background of any sound, even in a recording studio. Besides its nerdiness, this virtual classroom has a virtual clown that occasionally attempts a punchline and sometimes gets away with it.
Beach admitted, deep down you love me.
Enough about frequency composition. Next class is about the science of musical instruments. Until then,